Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tesla, me and my Model 3. Now if you like this video, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification button, and also please feel free to use my referral code which you can find in the description below, which will allow both of us to get 1,000 miles of free supercharging, and then if you pass your referral on after buying your Tesla, you'll get the chance to win a Founders Edition Model Y or a Roadster. Okay, so I had to quickly stop the other video because I've just remembered as I was editing it that I haven't announced the winners from the last video, which is the EVarmor wrap, and I asked you guys to comment below if you wanted to win, and I would then put it into a spinning Wheel of Fortune kind of thing, and then whoever it landed on would win their own EVarmor. So let's try that now. Here we go, I've got my spinning wheel here, so let's see if we can spin it. Here we go, it's got a little sound effect as well. So the winner is Dave Kirk 100. Hey, thank you for joining in, Dave, and you've won yourself an EVarmor from... No, it is EVarmor. So you've won yourself a wrap from EVarmor. So Dave, if you could email me what colour you'd like and your address as well so that I can send it to you, and if you can email that to peter@loneoakproductions.com, and that Lone is like Lone Ranger, but I will put the address of mine up on the top there so you can send it. Congratulations again, and back to the video. So I was recently contacted by a company called BougeRV who said, did I want to test out some of their products? I said, yeah, sure, that'd be great. And so they've sent me a boot mat and some wind guard noise reduction strips that you put in the gaps on the top of the roof. So I thought I'd start with the boot mat, which comes in this box here. So let's open up. Okay, here we go. So weight of it, I reckon about, I don't know, 6 kilos or something. It's hard to tell. Maybe 8 kilos, something like that. So it's not too heavy. Does it smell? But I've got to say, I've got quite a good sense of smell. That doesn't smell. It doesn't smell at all, actually. Yeah, when you're getting into this boot smell. No, it's fine. It's fine. Doesn't smell. Definitely doesn't smell like that industrial rubber smell. Okay, so let's go down to the car and try and fit it. Okay, so let's unroll it for the first time and see if it fits in. Yeah, so that wasn't too hard. Took a few seconds to do. It's actually got quite a nice little notch there, so you can it goes around here, and so you can still pull up and get underneath there. These parts where it's been rolled up aren't sitting too well at the moment, but I'm hoping that, I guess if what you could do is just lay a load of books down on it overnight and it will probably be a lot better. But for now it fits round here quite nice. It's got quite a nice ridge, so if there was any spillage then I'm guessing it would stop it. What sort of spillage would you get? I was trying to think actually what kind of things that spill in the boot. I guess if you went to a garden centre and you had lots of plants and they always fall over, earth could go everywhere. If you had shopping and maybe one of the washing up liquid bottles or something like that split, which can happen, that might leak a little bit. And if you just got general rubbish or something like that you want to get rid of, sometimes you get leakage out of the bags. Okay, so rather than just pouring a load of liquids and mud onto the mats outside, I thought, you know, we want to do a real world test, so I've got to set up a little experiment which involves some flower pots filled with peat, mud, and we'll put that in there, and then this can represent our shopping that's gone wrong and split, and I've put a little cut in there and it's just leaking out. So we'll do that and it hopefully will roll around a bit. So this is going to be quite interesting in that it might roll off from the rim and we might get spillage over the top, but we'll see. It looks like a real world thing, right? So we'll see what happens. There we go, stick that in there. If I'm honest, I don't have much faith in those ridges stopping all of the dirt and everything, but hey, let's see what happens. And this is quite a bumpy road as well, so that's a good test, I think. I don't know if the flower pots would have gone over there, fallen over yet. They might be all right. And like I said, I wanted this to be a real world test. I didn't just chuck the flower pots on their side, because at the end of the day, you're not going to do that in real life. So why would you do it in the test? There you go. You can see how bumpy this road is. Right, now this is a good little segment as well, because it's a busy road that I've got to get out of, which will probably mean I need to do a little bit of acceleration. And as we know, the Tesla's not exactly slow accelerating. Oh, actually, I'm all right, but I'll give it a little boot. Oh, there's a car behind me. Oh, there we go. Right, let's see. Let's see if that's upset the boot a little bit. And obviously, when you're driving in the real world, you're not going to be booting it around if you know you've got a load of shopping and plants in the back. So we'll go roundabout here. So that's a good little test. So you would be driving it quite cautiously, I'd imagine, unless you're just an absolute lunatic. Right, okay, let's have a look, see if any of it's spilt out over the boot. Okay. Well, I don't think there's much we could. I don't think any particular boot mat would have stopped that. On the plus side, the leakage part, if you look down there, I think that's actually kind of has stopped it. It stopped the leakage bit, but we do have a lot of peat spread out everywhere. But honestly, I don't think any boot mat would have stopped that. So I think we'll just let's take this out and see how much it's actually left. Like that. So anyway, in terms of actually stopping the mud, it didn't really work, but as in the leakage from the bottle, it did stop it. Actually, also one thing worth noting is that is dry, isn't it? Not wet. So if it was more compact wet soil with a plant in it, it might not spill out as much.
I did a quick test with some different liquids and mud to see how well they'd wash off. The BougeRV cleaned well with just a simple hose down. Even the oil seemed to disperse pretty well, although I needed to wipe it down afterwards, but that's going to be expected with oil. I then tried to see if it was easy to damage. Using the claw side of a hammer to hit it didn't seem to do much damage, but if I use a knife and push with one finger, I found that I could easily penetrate the thinner parts of the mat, and so I'd imagine a heavy sharp object could easily do some damage. So what rating do I give the BougeRV boot mat? Well, installation, it was very easy to install, but the creases make it impossible to lay flat and snug. I did lay some books down on it for a couple of hours, and that did make a difference, but I'd imagine you'd need to leave it at least a day to get rid of all those creases, so it definitely adds to the faff of installation. So I'm going to give that a 7. Design and finish, I think the design is okay, but I've seen some other boot mats that cover the entire area and have much higher edges. I don't know why they've just had the end flaps rather than making the whole mat wider so it covers the whole of the boot. Also, the ridges, although able to stop small spills, aren't that high, and so any major spills would probably spill over the rims if you needed to accelerate. On the plus side, it doesn't smell at all. I'm going to give it a 6. Durability, it seems pretty tough, but as I demonstrated, the thinner areas can be broken with sharp objects, and if you carry heavy tools, I could imagine these areas might get damaged. However, saying that, I don't think many people will be wanting to carry heavy tools in an expensive car like the Model 3. So I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. The value, the BougeRV boot mat seems fairly competitive in price to some of its rivals, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Overall, I'm going to give the boot mat a 7 out of 10.
Okay, so we've done the boot mat, so now we're going to do the wind guard noise reduction rubber material that goes around the roof. And so what we've got here is a very...
We were originally going to try and record the sound scientifically using a decibel reader on my iPhone, but to cut a long story short, I couldn't figure it out, and it was a trial version, so it kept cutting out after a minute. So I decided to chuck it in and just use my ears, which after all is what really matters.
Give it a go. I think we're going to just have to test it with our ears really to tell the difference. So obviously at the moment I haven't got that wind reduction on the roof at the moment, and what we're going to do is we're just going to go up and down one of the roads just around here at about, I think if we set it for 50 miles per hour,
and then we'll stick to 50 miles per hour and we'll see what we get on here, and then we'll install the rubber sealant around there and we'll see if that makes a difference. So let's try it out. Okay, so here we go. This is the oh, it's like one piece. I thought you had to join it, but it's actually all just a big loop, and I think it goes all the way around here. So let's try it now. It's actually just a big rubber sort of cable. Installing the trim was fairly straightforward. The main issues I had was that my car's panel gaps must have been slightly out because some areas were tighter to fit than others. Also, I found that where I was pushing it into the gaps, it must have stretched when I came to meet the middle, and there was like some excess rubber, so I had to pull one half up and do that area again. Yeah, so these bits here are a lot thinner than here. It's a lot easier to push it in here than it is along those corners there. But yeah, alright. So second test to see if this has actually made a difference to the noise reduction on the wind. Let's try it out. I can't tell the difference. I mean, maybe there is a difference. If you had high quality scientific equipment, you might be able to detect it, but the way I see it, to the human ear, or at least to my ears, it hasn't made a blind bit of difference. So now the wind guard noise reduction sealing strips. Installation, these were fairly easy to install. There was a bit of fiddling around, but anyone can do this, so I'm going to give this a score of 9 out of 10. Design and finish, well, it's a piece of rubber, but it does seem to fit snugly and doesn't extrude, so it blends in perfectly with the car's design. I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. Durability, the rubber seems pretty durable and flexible. I can't see it degrading for a long time, so I'm going to give that a 9 out of 10. And finally, value. This is where things fall apart. I honestly couldn't tell the difference. I'm only giving it a 3 because it does actually have an unintended benefit, and that is I don't have to try and clean between the panel gaps when washing the car. However, if you are finding that your car has really loud wind noise, then I guess for $13 this might be worth a shot. Overall, I have to give this a 3 out of 10. So if you're looking for accessories for your Model 3, remember to check out model3part.com, where they have the BougeRV accessories as well as many others. I hope those reviews were of some use to you. Until next time, bye for now.